the power of belief and how you can believe in yourself. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Hello. Thank you so much for joining me on the Hopefulist. This is your dose of inspiration and positivity. Starting out with the quote of the day. Today comes from my queen, Oprah Winfrey. You know how much I love my Oprah. You don't become what you want. You become what you believe. That's right. If I told you you could achieve all your desires, would you believe me? Probably not. I wouldn't have either just a few years ago, but I was wrong, and you are wrong too. You need to tell yourself every day that you can have what you dream of every day until you start to believe it, and then start working toward achieving it. I just got a rowboat. Yes, I know. It's very exciting. However, I have never really used a rowboat before. I watched a short video on it and realized right away I was in for more than I bargained for. I set sail this morning for the first time, and as bad as it went, it could have been worse. If you know anything about rowing a boat, you know that you are intended to go backwards. However, I somehow ended up going forward about 5 houses up from my own. Luckily, I had some support back on my dock, yelling instructions and cheering me on. I was mostly worried about running into another boat, like the real expensive ones. I had some major issues with turning the boat, getting back to the dock, then extracting myself from the boat. But I was able to do it with the help of my husband. Now, the goal is that I am able to do this on my own, so I don't have to depend on him to be home in order to take the boat out. My hope is to use it daily as a workout and to get out on the water. If you know anything about me, you know I love boats, love to be out on the water. But I'm not sure how long it will be before I'm at that level to navigate it all by myself. Just a few years ago, I would have likely given up pretty quickly after realizing how much harder it was than I imagined. In fact, a few years ago, I likely wouldn't have even tried. But here's the thing I know now. I can do anything. Anything I set my mind to. I'm not going to be great at first. It's going to take me a while to get down the mechanics of everything. As a neighbor pointed out, it's like patting your head and rubbing your tummy at the same time. But I also know the only way to get better is to get out there and keep doing it. Keep going, keep working, and get better every day. Another thing that's kind of pushing me on and not giving up is, I got to tell you, we had to install a floating dock to keep it on. Oh, it's been a project. It has been a project. The whole neighborhood has gotten in on helping us get this floating dock, deliver this floating dock, securing the floating dock. I mean, it's just been a project. So if I were to just give up now, all my neighbors, including my husband, would be very angry at me. And I got to tell you, I wouldn't blame them. So maybe you need to get a little money in the game, so to speak, in order to keep you going on a goal that you really have interest in, but it's that kind of uncomfortableness that you have when you first start something out. You need something to keep you going. It took me a long time to believe I could do anything I set my mind to, but I believe in myself now and my ability to do what is required to get what I plan to achieve. Why did it take me so long? Well, why are so many people still not able to believe in themselves? Is it something you are born with? Is it that there's only a certain type of people who can do this? No, no, and no. You can learn to believe in yourself. I know because I've done it. Let's talk a little bit about what you currently believe and how you got that way. In the book, How to Do the Work by the holistic psychologist, she says, the habit of thinking a particular thought over and over again changes our brain, our nervous system, and the cellular chemistry of our entire body, making it easier to default to negative thought patterns in the future. In other words, the more we think something, the more we are likely to believe it. She goes on to say, when a belief is validated, it can become what is called a core belief. Core beliefs are our deepest perceptions about our identity. They were installed in our subconscious often before the age of 7. These are the stories of who I am, such as I am smart, I'm personable, I'm outgoing, I'm not good at math, I'm a night owl. And that provides the framework of our personality. Though it may seem as though our core beliefs are our own because we've practiced them without question, they came to us mostly from our parent figures, home and community environments, and earliest experiences. Once a core belief is formed, you engage in what's called a confirmation of bias. Information that does not conform to your beliefs is discarded or ignored in favor of information that does, such as, I don't know how to row a boat. Can't row a boat. No way I can learn how to row a boat now. It's all wrong. We universally lean into something called negativity bias, in which we tend to prioritize and value negative information over positive. This is why you can see a glowing performance review and forget it shortly afterward, though you'll never forget the sting of a colleague's criticism. Fascinating, right? So what does all this mean? It means that what you currently believe about yourself may not be accurate or could be downright wrong. It's usually when you are doing something you have been conditioned to do, but feel no joy or love for that thing. It means this isn't really for you. It's what has been assigned for you based on faulty information. It means you can do so much more than you currently think you can. If you feel like you are too old to learn new things, you are mistaken. You can keep learning and growing until the day you die. Isn't it better to abandon what isn't making you happy now and find what will? Isn't it better to have a good last 20 years than to be having a miserable 70 or 80? Yes, it will be hard and scary to leave something you know and are comfortable with in order to go after what you are meant to do. There is no doubt about that. But that is what makes life worth living. The goal is not to coast safely to our deaths. The goal is to live life to the fullest and experience all our hearts desire. Now go get yourself a rowboat. I'm kidding, of course. But what is something you've been wanting to do for a while, but you keep talking yourself out of it because it's scary or expensive or you just don't think you can do it? Start taking uncomfortable action toward that thing, because that is exactly how I feel about that rowboat. Uncomfortable and foolish. And it will stay that way until I figure things out. But I will figure things out. Just like I know you will figure it out. So what is that thing you're going to do that you're going to take a step closer toward today? Don't wait until next week or next month. Make plans to start taking action toward your desires now. Right now. Stop waiting. Life is not waiting for you. If you like this week's episode, please leave a review and tell a friend. If you want some personal help on believing in yourself and making your life happier, contact me for some life transformation mentoring. Schedule a free call, that is, to see what I can do to help you on the path to a much happier life. Thank you, as always, for tuning in today. I hope you take some action toward an interest of yours today, because what you believe is what happens. If you need to remind yourself every day that you can do what you set out to do, then do that. And one day you will start believing it. You will. Trust me. Now go on out there and be badass. Good luck. I know you can do it. I'm right here cheering you on. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.